This is the Louie T Network. The journey is long, and nobody said it was going to be easy. But all we got is us. All that believe is us. The Redskins Report. Welcome all my fellow Redskin brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. Dressed in all black like the Omen. Look, I was once told by a wise figure, all good things must come to an end. It felt good to take it off for a couple of weeks, man. I must not lie, man. I cannot deny. Felt good to leave the black in the closet, but it's back like cooked crack. So here we are. Took one on the chin. You know what it means. I got the all black on, and this one stinks right here. On a scale of 1 to 10 on how bad this one stinks, this one's about a 9.5, to be honest with you, because the one thing that Cowboys game gave us that we didn't have just about in the last month or so is hope. That Cowboys game, it gave us a false sense of hope. And the one thing you can't give a man is hope. Because if you give him hope, all of a sudden now everything matters. See, nothing mattered a couple of weeks ago, you know. It was nice if we won, if we lost. Oh, okay, fine, cool. You know, we're not a good team, so nothing should surprise you. But when you go into Big D and you slay the Dragons, they're 6-1, we're 9.5 point underdogs, and we go in and get a W, defense plays lights out. All of a sudden now you look up at the standings and you say, man, NFC West teams are struggling, Seattle's struggling, San Francisco's struggling. You know, Detroit, they're good, but are they going to remain good? You don't know. NFC South is terrible. I mean, you feel like, hey, if we get on a run, why not us? That thought started to creep into our minds because of Monday night. You know, you beat the Tennessee Titans, whoop-de-doo. Whatever. It's the Tennessee Titans. You don't get any brownie points for that. You beat the Tennessee Titans, you beat a team you were supposed to beat at the house. You go on the road and you beat Dallas, however. Oh, wait a minute now. Okay. So now you start looking ahead. And this is what we can't afford to do because we're not good enough to do this. But when you give us hope, we start doing things out of character. We start doing things like looking ahead on the schedule. Hey, if we just beat Minnesota, get to the bye at 4-5, we got Tampa Bay coming up after the bye. At the crib, we could be 5-5. Stop. Pump your brakes with the Redskins. We don't get to look forward on the schedule. We got to take care of the team in front of us. We're not good enough to look forward to games that aren't in front of us right now. We're not good enough to do that. You know that. Past history has shown that we're not good enough of a football team to do that. So, but that's what hope will do for you, though. Hope will make you do things that's out of character, that you're not supposed to do. And so, here we are. These ideas of grandeur, that if we could just beat Minnesota, get to 4-5, hell, we could even be at 500 before the end of November. Hey, Thanksgiving, we could be talking about potentially having a chance to get over 500 on the season. But you got to beat Minnesota first. Got to get to the bye week first. Same old skins, man. Damn, this one hurts. That's why this game hurt. Because the future was semi-bright. Okay? What had been a dark, grim season for the most part all year long, with the exception of Jacksonville and maybe Philadelphia, this has been a dark season. And for the first time all year long, there was light at the end of the tunnel. And it wasn't a train. We weren't about to get slammed by a train. That was actually light at the end of the tunnel. And it flickered, and then that light went out. And now we're back to eternal darkness in 2014. So let's go over this game and talk about how it came to be that the Vikings were able to get us 29-26 in week number 9. Skins are able to force a 3-and-out, so we win the toss, elect to receive the football after the halftime break. You know how I feel about that. I'm a little nervous going into this game because our special teams unit, as you all know, isn't the best in the world, and they've got one of the most explosive kick returners in the entire National Football League in Cordell Patterson, a.k.a. CP84. You let this guy loose, forget about it. You're not getting him. So, yeah, I was nervous going into the game because, you know, our special teams historically has been bad. So I'm like, not the guy that we wanted. And, you know, Kyle Forbath, bless his heart, he's not kicking the football out of the end zone. So I was just like, if we could just contain this kid, I feel good about that. So we're able to force a 3-and-out after avoiding CP84. We're able to kick the football. It bounces into the end zone, gets out of the end zone. So we're able to get a touchback and force a 3-and-out. Great. So we get the football after they punt, and we're going to get great field position because they started at the 20-yard line. They didn't get a first down. They punted from deep in their own territory, and the punt wasn't that great. And so we're about to get some great field position. We're talking 40-something yard line. This is awesome. Peel back block on DY kills that field position. And you know what? I hate that rule. I really do. I understand the gist of it, but I mean, it's football, man. Head on a swivel. That's what we've always been taught. That's how the game has always been taught. Head on a swivel, man. Be aware of your surroundings. And these peel back blocks are just annoying because what do you want a guy to do? What do you want him to do? If a guy's pursuing the ball carrier and you've got an angle on him and you've got a chance to take him out of the play, what are you supposed to do? Just go stand in front of him? No, you lay him out. You give him a shot. You put him on his back. So these peel back blocks, it'd be one thing if you were going after somebody's knees or you hit them in their head. If you give them a shoulder into their chest, which is what DY did on this play, it's football, man. Let the guys play football. So I didn't agree with the call. I thought it was a bad call. But anyway, kills the field position. But doesn't matter. Play action fake to Pierre on first down for 11. Then AM and Rob for 3 yards apiece on read option leads to 3rd and 4. And Drake picks up 9 and a first down. So Robert able to hang in the pocket and go through his progressions. I think Dre might have been the 3rd progression on that particular play and finds him, throws him the football, picks up a first down. So that was impressive as we move the sticks. Robert eludes pressure and gets to Halou for 24. And this was a special play. This was Robert Griffin III circa 2012 right here. This was Robert in the pocket. 2 guys converge on him. Somehow Robert's able to curl himself into a ball and emerge from the wreckage with the football in hand and ready to make a play. Scrambles out of the pocket, finds Roy Halou Jr. and hits him for 24 yards and a huge gain. The irony on that play is that Roy Halou actually missed the block that led to Robert almost getting sacked. So he needed to make amends for missing the block, and he did by catching the football and getting 24 yards. So great play by Robert and showing the elusiveness that made him the number 2 overall selection in 2012. So that was a huge play. Screen for 15 yards to AM. Then AM loss on first down, and then Robert gets sacked on 2nd down by Anthony Barr. So now, you know, essentially we've been put in a 3rd and long situation. We don't pick it up, but because of all the yardage we've gained already, we're in field goal range. Kyle Forbath comes in, nails a field goal. It's 3-0. Redskins on top early in the game. So able to get some yards and get some points on that opening possession. Very, very positive start. 3-0 on the road. CP84 wide open as there's a huge miscommunication between DA and Clark. So David Amerson, Ryan Clark, miscommunication. And this is the one thing that I hate because we don't know who was wrong. We don't know who was at fault here. Only the players on the field and the coaches on the sidelines know exactly what the call was and know who was at fault. You know, we can play the blame game and speculate as to who's at fault. You let me tell it. It's Ryan Clark. It's always Ryan Clark. He seems to never know what the hell is going on. And every time a big play is given up, it's usually his fault. But, you know, I take it easy on the youngins. They don't make a lot of mistakes in my mind. But I don't know whose fault it was. Was that cover 3? Because if it's cover 3, then it's David Emerson's fault. He's supposed to carry that receiver deeper than the deepest. There's never supposed to be a guy getting behind you. It's his fault. If it's cover 2, then Emerson is supposed to carry him out for a little while, release him to the safety. It's not his responsibility anymore. Either way, nobody went with Cordell Patterson. And Cordero Patterson should have had a walk-in. Teddy Bridgewater could have underthrown that football by 20 yards and still would have been able to walk in the end zone and score a touchdown with Cordell Patterson. The problem was he overshot him by about 5 yards on that play. Had he just threw it to him, no, the hardest throw to make is when a guy's wide open. You try to be too fine, you can underthrow him. You just let it rip and you can overthrow him. If he would have just threw the ball to him, it's a walk-in. He could have literally caught the football at the 30 and just walked into the end zone. That's how wide open it was. There wasn't a Redskin within 25 yards of Cordero Patterson on this particular play. That can't happen because the good quarterbacks in this league, that's a 67-yard touchdown right there. That's for the good quarterbacks. But Teddy Bridgewater is far from that right now. And so, huge mistake on the part of the Vikings. Missed opportunity. We got to get it together, man. That was pathetic. I mean, any other team in the league, any other team in that division, let me say that. That's a touchdown. Jay Cutler, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, that's 7 points. So luckily enough for us, the one team in that division with the quarterback that couldn't hit an open guy deep, we were playing them on that Sunday. But we got to be better than that. That's pathetic. So got away with one there. Then Trent Murphy sacks Teddy Bridgewater and basically spoils their drive. They got to punt the football. So defense able to dodge the bullet. Now we're off the field. Great. Let's go. Good job, guys. And that sack by Trent Murphy, that move that he put on the left tackle, Brian Khalil there to get there, I tell you what, Brian Arapaho could only dream of doing a move like that. Even though, you know, we give Arapaho a hard time, he does do some things well, but one of his deficiencies and the reason why he'll never be an elite football player is his lack of creativity, his lack of secondary moves. He's got one move and one move alone, and that's the speed rush outside with the bull rush, and that's it. That's all he's got. And Trent Murphy showed an array of moves. He go inside, go outside. I've seen him spin before, so the guy's got a couple of tricks in his bag, and he's got a little arsenal on him. It's all about putting it together now and being consistent in terms of mixing them up and keeping that tackle on his toes and really having a guess as to what's coming next. So great to see him get to the quarterback, though. Robert Griffin III with a gorgeous throw on an angle route to DJ, similar to what we saw on Monday night. One of those passes that was underthrown by Colt McCoy, angle route where Djax goes up the field and then bends it at an angle towards the corner, and Robert hit him in stride. It was a gorgeous throw. And the crazy part about this one is he took a shot, did Djax, on this play. I mean, there was two defenders there. They both laid into him at the same time, so it was like almost simultaneously with him making a catch. He gets plastered, but he holds on to the football, man. This guy is amazing. And huge play. And the thing that was the most refreshing for me in this game, outside of Robert running read option and just looking more like the 2012 Robert than the guy we got last year, was the deep ball. That was something that I was starting to question, because when Robert first came in the league, that was his specialty. The deep ball was one of the things that you just knew if he got an opportunity to hit it, he was going to hit it and hit it big. And to me, that's one of the components. That's one of the makeups of an elite quarterback. That's one of the traits that you have to have, is that when you get an opportunity to hit the deep ball, you don't miss. You know, it's rare in this league to get an opportunity to hit a guy for the deep ball. And when you get that opportunity, you can't miss. And last year, Robert was missing the deep ball a lot. And so I was starting to question, because in 2012, he did not miss the deep ball. I mean, those hookups with Aldrick Robinson in 2012, they were special, man. I mean, when he had opportunities to hit guys deep, he hit them in 2012. That wasn't the case last year. And so I was starting to wonder if it was still there. And we got a glimpse of it in that Jacksonville game. I don't know if you recall, before he got injured, he threw a deep ball to D-Jax. I thought it was a catch. D-Jax hit the ground, the ball came out. They said he didn't complete the catch. I thought it was a good enough catch. Even Mike Carey, the resident ex-official for CBS, said, hey, I think that's a catch. He went to the ground. He possessed it long enough. Then the ball came out. I think it's a catch. And they didn't overturn it. But I said, man, that was a hell of a throw. And so to see him come out and throw the deep ball as well as he did in this game, man, that is so refreshing to see. It's like popping the top on a, and I don't drink sodas, but it takes me back to my childhood when I used to pop the top on that. So you hear that sound? Oh, go. It's refreshing, man. Gosh, it was good to see. So big play for D-Jax for 45, then AM for 9, then AM with runs of 13 and 5 to end the first quarter as the Skins are on the march at the Minnesota 23. So we go to the second quarter. Robert has a throw behind Dre. Dre should have still caught the football. Okay? If you have your hands on it, I was taught as a receiver coming up, if you touch it with your hands, you should catch it. And as a receiver, sometimes that was frustrating because not all the time when you get your hands on the ball are you in a position to catch it and reel it in, but any coach will tell you if you get your hands on the football, you should catch it. So, yes, it was a bad throw. It was behind him. But he was able to turn his body around and get his hands on the football. Catch the damn football. And so Dre, it seems like, is a weekly occurrence. He dropped the football. Every week, you get a drop out of Dre. Whether it just goes straight through his damn hands or it actually hits him in the mitts and he drops it. Seems like this is a weekly occurrence where he drops football. Well, he dropped the football. So that was frustrating. That sets up a third down. But luckily enough for us, Vikings have an illegal contact on Marcus Sherrills on third down, which grants us a first down and a fresh set of downs. And on the next play, AM bust off a 14-yard touchdown run. Beautifully blocked on that play. Tom, straight out of Compton, seals the edge, allows AM to cut up inside, and off to the races he goes. Into the end zone he goes. Damn, 2 possessions, 2 scores. It's 10-0. Redskins on top, and defense playing pretty well. Offense scored on first 2 possessions. Damn, can it get any better than this? Off the heels of what we did against Dallas last week, man. Right now, I don't know about you at home. I don't know what you felt like at this point and at this juncture of the game. But for me, up 10-0, defense dominating. Dare I say blowout. It crossed my mind, I'm not going to lie. I'm a Redskins fan, so I keep everything in its proper perspective. However, I started to thinking crazy, man. The crazy thoughts, they started racing through my brain, and I started thinking to myself, are we really actually starting to turn the corner? Are we good now? Are we good enough to go on the road and beat a Vikings team that I think we're better than? But not just beat them up. Are we good enough to do that? Is that what we're doing now? Are we disposing of teams that we're supposed to? Nah, that can't be us. So I was still on the fence, but it crossed my mind. It's crossing my mind, though. And so I'm starting to think, hey, we get another stop defensively and get the football back to this offense that's red hot right now. I don't know, man. We might be able to take it to these boys today. So Vitamin B with a stellar knockaway deep on CP84. And I was like, hey, man, this young fella here, we had the scare. I don't know if you were following the team during the week, but he got his knee caught in the ground. Cleat got caught in the ground. Knee didn't respond well to the cleat getting caught in the ground. And he had to be carted off at practice. That's scary. Don't tell me that when this guy literally was the player of the game on Monday. Don't tell me that. Non-contact, that's never good. But I heard all the reports and everybody say, hey, we think it's okay. Think it's just a mild sprain. We think he'll be fine. Had MRIs, everything checked out. They said, hey, guy's good to go. He's playing. So I was focusing in on Vitamin B early on in this game to see how he was moving around. He looked fine to me, so I said, all right, no harm, no foul. Let's get it done, young fella. And he was playing ball again. I said, man, you're starting to endear yourself to me. Like, I already have affinity for the young pups. I always do. I always want to see the young boys come in and shine. But when you come in and you exceed expectations, I love you. I love you like a son. So to see Vitamin B come out there, balling again, hitting, tackling, running, jumping, making plays on the football, I told Tedo, you better watch out, man. Vitamin B. You haven't had your daily dose yet. Mess around, you're going to have to take this supplement, man. You better stop messing around with vitamin B. And so that was a hell of a play. Now, granted, he was beat on the play. And it was an underthrow by Teddy Bridgewater. But still, you've got to be in a position to make a play on football, and he was in a position to make a play on the football. So I won't dock the man any points for doing what he was supposed to do, makes a play on the football, because it was still a catchable ball. I mean, we talked about Colt McCoy underthrowing Deshaun Jackson last week in Dallas, but guess what? D-Jack still came up with the football. So if you don't make a play on the ball, even though it's underthrown, it can still be caught. Vitamin B made a play on the football. Incomplete. So that young fella playing ball. Jay Gruden takes the penalty on 3rd down, which would have brought up 4th down, but the Redskins still get a sack. Jason Hatcher gets the sack, and we're able to get out. I was a little nervous. I was pissed off, frankly, that he would decline a penalty. Even though it was going to set up something like 4th and 2, Vikings weren't going to go for it. They were in their own territory. They're not going for it. 4th down from their own, 39-yard line, 42-yard. They're not going for that. They're going to punt the football. Why would you take that penalty? So I was a little upset about that, but we ended up getting a sack. So it ended up pushing them back, and it ended up being a great call on his part. But if it didn't work, and they came close, they came dangerously close. Or no, excuse me. If they had picked up the 1st down, if Hatch doesn't get the sack, and let's just say, like all second half long, guys were running wide open. Let's just say we had a busted coverage, and they pick up 23 yards on the play in their 1st down. I would have been pissed off, like, to the point where, we got to have a discussion over this. If they would, because you can't do that as a coach. You got to be smart. But he rolled the dice, and it didn't come up snake eyes. He won. So, no harm, no foul again. They punt the football, and we get the ball back, prime field position. And right now, you know what I'm thinking. Jugular, man. Cut him right here, jugular. Right here. Cut him in that carotid. Cut him right in that artery, man. Cut it off. Let him bleed out. I want it to be over right now. Go down and get a touchdown. We go up 17-0. This game is over. Done. Finished. The Vikings have struggled to score this season. Struggled. They came into this game over the last 3 contests averaging 12 points a game. These boys are struggling to score points. So I felt like if we turned up the pressure on Tedo, and we're sustaining offense, which we were, and we're eating up some clock, these boys are not putting up 20 points today. So if we get 17, they're in some trouble. If we go up 17-0, game, set, match. That's the way I was thinking. So we got that stop that I was talking about. Let's go get some points, man. So Robert with the run on 3rd down picks up a 1st down. And AM for 5. Halou stopped. And this I think a lot of Redskins fans were salty with this call. You get 3rd and a half a yard. What play are you looking for? I'm anxious to know what are you looking, because I know what I'm expecting here. We line up in the I formation. First of all, I don't want to see Roy Halou Jr. in the backfield on 3rd and half a yard. There needs to be AM in the backfield. That's number 1. Number 2, if we line up in I formation, boy, am I looking for a Darrell Young fullback dive. I'm looking for that fullback dive. Turn around, quick hand off to DY, and let him plummet his way through the line and get that 1st down. We do it all the time. It hasn't been stopped yet. If it's not broke, why are we trying to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed? Get a football to 36 and let him get this 1st down, man. I thought this was a bad call. You went and you outsmarted yourself. Stop being cute. A wise man once told me, son, don't be cute. Be good. And that wasn't good. That was cute. You were trying to be cute. You were trying to outsmart the Vikings. You were trying to be cute, man. Don't be cute. Be good. Fullback dive. Slash him in the mouth. Get the 1st down, man. That was a bad call, and it cost us a possession. Damn. Golden opportunity down the goddamn drain. So we got to punt the football. Vitamin B getting close with a knockaway on 2nd down. I told Ted, I said, you better stop messing around with vitamin B or you're going to get that daily dose, man. You real close. And at the time, in that 1st half, we were playing man-to-man coverage. Vitamin B was all over Cordell Patterson. All over Cordell Patterson. I mean, he was smothering that young boy. And I said, man, if you keep trying them, if we keep playing man-to-man, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to think one of these stops, one of these slants, one of these comebacks, one of these outs, you're going to make a bad throw, and Vitamin B going to be right there to pick it off and take it to the crib. Keep messing around with them. I felt so good at that point about what we were doing defensively. We were blitzing. We were playing man-to-man coverage. Guys were doing their jobs. Everything was hunky-dory on the defensive side of football. And the Vikings weren't moving the ball. And then Chad Ford, their third-string tight end, gets 15 yards and a first down. Then Greg Jennings gets 10 yards. They move the sticks again. So now they're starting to move the football. And then they run a screen, and Perry Riley Jr. tackles the running back for a 4-yard loss. So I said, okay, yeah, we about to get off the field here now. Okay, then PRJ with another tackle at the line of scrimmage forces a punt. I'm like, okay, yeah, we about to get the football back. This defense is playing ball. Let's go get some points and put these boys out of their misery. And this is why we're the Redskins, and we're not one of these other teams that's good, that's 5-3 on the season, or one of these teams out here that's hell, even 5-4 on the season without a bye yet. This is why we're 3-6, because we had golden opportunities to put this game away. Had a possession at midfield, run a toss out of a 3.5 yard situation. We run a toss. We throw the football 6 yards in the backfield and then try to pick up a first down. Stupid, dumb. Don't get it. Now we get another opportunity to get the football, to possess the football and put some points up and extend this lead. And here's what we do. AM drops the football. I was pissed off at this. And this is why, I hate to put guys in a box because, you want to get away from tendencies. And you can't say AM can't catch if you don't throw him the football. So you want to give him a chance to catch. He caught a screen already in this game. So you want to feel comfortable dumping him the football down. And I always bitch and complain to Robert, hey man, if it's not there, don't hold on to the football. Check it down. So what does Robert do? He looks, he scans the field, doesn't like what he sees. He says, hey, I'm going to do the smart thing. I'm going to do what all the rest of the quarterbacks in the league do when there's nothing there. I'm going to check it down. I'm going to pick up 5 on first down instead of making it 2nd and 10 because I didn't make a smart decision with the football. I'm going to make it 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 13 because I held on to the ball too long and took a sack. I'm going to check it down at Alfred Morris, who's wide open. What does he do? He drops the goddamn football. Catch the ball, man. Damn. So now instead of it being 2nd and 5, maybe even 2nd and 3 if he gets 7. I mean, there's a lot of real estate in front of him. He drops the ball at 2nd and 10. So Pierre says, hey, if he can drop it, why can't I drop it? So he drops the football too. We got to punt the damn football. A golden opportunity to get another possession started on the right foot, and we piss it away. Now we got to punt the football. So 2 possessions with an opportunity to extend the lead, and we come up empty on both of them. Not good. Not very good at all. So now Vikings get the football back, and I thought this was another huge play. Thought the officials dropped the ball here. DA makes a pick down the field on a deep ball. Teddy Bridgewater at the beginning of this game, and this was the knock on him coming out of college. I didn't like his deep ball. I still don't like his deep ball, as you can see why. His deep ball accuracy is, at best, it's subpar. I'm trying to be modest. I don't want to, make this kid out to be the worst deep ball thrower in the league. That's not the case. But at worst, at best, it's minimal. His deep ball accuracy is minimal at best, and it's subpar. He cannot throw it consistently deep on the money. And you saw it in this game. He had opportunities to hit guys deep, and he just couldn't. And here was another situation where he throws a deep ball. It's not even close. David Anderson actually has a better opportunity of catching a football than the receiver does. And I thought he made a play on it. He bobbled it, but I thought he came down with it. He got a knee down, was able to possess the football as he was going out of bounds. 1 knee equals 2 feet. I thought it was a clean catch. And even Mike Pereira, who is rarely wrong, the resident ex-head of officiating for Fox, said, and this guy, every time I see Mike Pereira, he's spot on. He used to be the head of officials, so he knows what the conversation in the room is. When they put the headsets on, he knows exactly what's being asked and what questions are being tossed around and what's going into the decision that's going to ultimately be called on the field. And so for him to say, hey man, And again, I haven't seen the man be wrong all year long. I mean, Mike Carey, ex-official, he looks at it the way that he would look at it on the field, which I tend to think he's right a lot of the times too. But I've seen him wrong numerous times on CBS. But on Fox, Mike Pereira, he's looking at it from an objective view, not on the field like Mike Carey does as an official. He's looking at it from being a guy that they used to call and ask, all right, what do you see here? And I thought it was a pick, and he said it was a pick. He said, I think they're going to overturn this one, make an interception. He's got clear control of the football with the knee down, inbounds as he's sliding out of it. He controls it throughout the whole process. It's a pick. They come back and say, play stands is called as incomplete. So, I mean, all you can do is say, all right, I mean, what can you do? I mean, that's what they decided to keep the call as, but I thought it was a bad call. I thought it was a pick. So then Minnesota gets a first down on third down to Chad Ford, who was killing us in this game. Ryan Clark gets a stop on third down, forces 4th and 2, as the Vikings are in Redskins territory for the first time all game. So they decide to go for it on 4th and 2. And Trent Murphy gets pressure, flushes Tedo out of the pocket, and inexplicably, he throws the football away as if he has another down to live. I mean, coaches say, hey, give me a chance to call another play. Well, guess what? It's 4th down. You don't have another chance to call a play if you don't pick up the first down. So do something. Run. Throw it. Throw it up for grabs. For all I care, why would you throw it out of bounds? Nobody can catch it. The officials can't throw a flag if you throw it out of bounds. Do something. So at that point, I knew we had this Vikings team. We got him right where we want him because he's shell-shocked. I mean, he's doing dumb stuff like throwing a ball away on 4th and 2. I mean, that's inconceivable. I mean, what are you doing? I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Thanks. I appreciate that. So now we got the football for the third time with an opportunity. And this time, we got, unlike the other 2 times, we got great field position. Now, the first time when we ran the pitch to Halou on 3rd and inches, we were at midfield. So we were actually in good field position right there. We're damn near at midfield right here. You know, when Robert drops back, the very first play of this possession throws a pick. And it's a bad one. I actually thought that the ball was tipped. I said it had to be. That the ball was so badly thrown that there had to be an excuse. I was like, there's no way he just threw the ball like that. Because the ball, first of all, it was like a torpedo. I mean, the thing was going down. I mean, it didn't have a chance. So it was going down. It was behind the receiver who's running an out-breaking route, which you cannot throw an out-breaking route to the inside. That's a no-no in this league. You might get away with that in college. You cannot do that in the National Football League. It doesn't fly here. Up here in this league, guys pick that off. And so I'm like, somebody at the line of scrimmage had to alter that throw. There's no way Robert did that. They played it back. It was just a bad throw. I mean, damn. You can't throw it much worse than that. I'm like, God damn, Robert, what the hell, man? Feet wasn't set. He didn't have his shoulders turned. Nothing was square. It was just a bad setup. Mechanics on that play was just trash. And that's what you get when you got bad mechanics. You cannot do that. And so, oh, man, that was stung. And we've done this all year long. We did it with Kirk Cousins with interceptions before the half. Remember, that's what got him benched against Tennessee. Colt McCoy did it. It wasn't right before the half, but his took points off the board against Dallas. We've done this all year. Mistakes that haunt us right before the half. If you even go back to the first game of the season against the Texans, if you remember correctly, we were dominating in that football game. We were up 6-0. Right before the half is when everything fell apart. The Texans get the huge 74-yard touchdown. And then on the next possession, they block the punt at the 2-minute warning, and they go up 14-6 right before the half. I mean, in the blink of an eye, that game changed right before the half. Same thing happened here. We're dominating. We're up 10-0 with the football with a chance to extend the lead out for the third time. And Robert throws an egregious pick, and it changed the complexion of this football game in an instant as Captain Munderland picks it off. Then Jennings is wide open for 22 yards. And then on third down, Chase Ford, again, he was killing us in this game. Wide open, and it was terrible, terrible play by Ryan Clark. First of all, that's his responsibility. There's no doubt about it this time. This wide open touchdown was definitely a direct correlation to Ryan Clark, eyes in the backfield, because At first, I thought it was just a good route. I said he must have ran an out and up. Ryan Clark got lost. And we know Ryan Clark's an older guy. Can't keep up with guys with any kind of athleticism. Not saying that Chase Ford is the most athletic tight end in the world, but I'm like, if he can get a step on him, give him a nice route, bait him into thinking it's an out, he jumps out and he goes up, you got him. That's not what this was. His route was an out on the play, and Ryan Clark goes with the out, and then he turns around and he fully turns his back to Chase Ford and is just totally focused on the quarterback. Like literally, they run the out, he runs the out with Chase Ford, and then as he realizes that he's not open on the out, he just turns around and says, all right, well, Teddy, what you going to do with the football? And he's just watching. He's a spectator now. Well, guess what? Your receiver, your guy, your tight end on this one, he didn't stop. He's not watching. He's still moving. He's going towards the end zone. Wide the hell open. And it's a touchdown. Can't happen. It was third down and long. We're about to force them to kick a field goal. That can't happen. So now, a first half that was thoroughly dominated by the boys in burgundy and gold. So now a 10-7 lead. We're only up 3. That's all we got to show for all of our hard work in this first half. Man, that is a punch to the gut. That is a gut punch if I've ever felt one. Like all the wind, just boom! Just a nice shot to the ribs. I felt like that. I felt like I just took one to the solar plex, and I needed a second to just kind of get my wits about myself. Whew. All right. So now it's halftime. We up 10-7. Doesn't feel as good as it did, say, 5 minutes ago. We still up. It doesn't feel the same though. So we come out of half, and what I had said to myself, and this is what delusional fans do, like myself. I said to myself, Redskins have done a great job coming out of the halftime break with that first possession and scoring points. We did it against Tennessee. We did it against Dallas. I said, one thing I can say about Jay Gruden, after the halftime break, that first possession is usually money. Every time. We did it against the Texans in week 1 where we moved the football. I think we might have fumbled that one though. But we moved the football nonetheless. It's something that we've done with a lot of success this season. Come out of the halftime break, move the football down the field, get points. So I was looking for that in this game. I felt like the offense, barring a couple of bad calls and a couple of bad executed plays, we've been moving the football. So I felt like, a couple of tweaks here and there, we should be able to move the football down the field on these guys. So we come out of the halftime break, 3 and out, and Robert gets sacked twice. Chris Chester and Halou miss Chad Greenway, and it just blows up the entire possession. It was a pathetic possession is what it was. It was frustrating because I wanted us to come out and establish dominance like we did in the first half and the second half. And what we came out did was we just went 3 and out and gave the Vikings more confidence. Remember, they just scored a touchdown before the half. To have us go 3 and out and give them the football, man, they feel great about their chances now. They feel great about what they're doing. They got all the momentum. And so this is what they do with the momentum. They get 15 yards to secret weapon, Jerick McKinnon. He gets 15 yards. Then we tack on a personal foul as Keenan Robinson drills Tedo and picks him up, power drives him. You can't do it, 15 yards. So you tack on that. So that's 30 yards given up on a possession already. Then we miss an opportunity to get it. Jarvis Jenkins gets on my nerves because it seems like he never can sack anybody. Nobody, it was one, in the preseason he missed Joe Flacco. I said, all right, that's Joe Flacco. Big guy, hard to bring down. But if you look at Jarvis Jenkins and all the opportunities he's had to sack quarterbacks and shit, he never gets them on the ground. He never. He's one of those, and I was listening to somebody talk. I don't know who I was listening to. They said, if there was a stat for almost getting a sack on the quarterback, we'd lead the league. You're damn skippy. And Jarvis Jenkins would be one of those guys at the top of the list in almost sacks. I mean, he's probably got about 5.5 of those on the season. Almost sacks. Trent Murphy had about 3.5 of those in this game. Almost sacks. Boy, if we had a stat for that, we'd be tearing it up. I think we'd lead the league, seriously. We probably have about 30.5 of those right now. But we can never get anybody on the ground. And it happened to us in this game. So Tedo able to escape Jarvis Jenkins. and then McKinnon gets 15 more, and it leads to a Matt Asiata touchdown. It's 14-10 now. Vikings out on top. I mean, God dang it, man. For all the good we've done in this game, we're losing now. Doesn't surprise me, though. Shouldn't surprise me, but it does. Why? I don't know. Dre with a 45-yard kickoff return, though. Redskins start at the Vikings' 44-yard line. So, okay, great field position. Great job by Dre getting the drive started with a positive. Robert takes a bad sack. And this is, I think, of all the things that Robert does poorly right now, the thing that we're the most critical of, at least I know I am, can't speak for you, is he takes bad sacks. And on this particular play, he starts in the pocket, things start to break down, so he gets out, he escapes, he runs all the way out here, and then for some inexplicable reason, he did the same thing against the Texans, if you remember, when DJ Swearinger came off the pace on a safety blitz from 15 yards and sacked Robert. He runs out of the pocket to his left, and then he stops and sets up shop. And then it's just like, okay, do something. You're going to run, you're going to throw it, what are you going to do? Don't just stand there. And Brian Robinson comes all the way from the other side of the formation. He's chasing Robert, heavy pursuit. Robert, I don't know if he didn't feel him, which he probably didn't, or if he thought he was going to be able to find somebody, but he just stops, sets up shop. Brian Robinson comes and sacks him. I mean, that can't happen. It can't happen. Either you throw the football away, you run it, or you get rid of it. Do something, but don't stand there and take a sack. That was a pathetic sack to take there. I just inexplicable. Can't happen. But it did. Then we get a screen to Roy Halou Jr. Then Jay Reed for 18 on third down. One of the few times we saw Jay Reed. And that can't happen either. He's got to be a bigger part of this offense. Now, I did hear that he was taken away by the Vikings. They were doing a lot of things to take him away in this game, but this kid needs to get the football more than once. I don't think he had another catch in the game after that. Now, he did have some targets later on. We'll talk about those when we get there, but got to get him the football more. Either way, third down after AM's 9-yard run sets up 3rd and 1. Rob takes a hit from Harrison Smith and picks up a personal foul penalty. Did I agree with the call? No. Was I appreciative of the call? You damn right I was. Now, on this particular play, Robert, they did read option. He should have gave AM the football. No reason to take this one and try to do it yourself. You need a yard. AM's going to get that 1 yard. I thought he predetermined in his mind what he was going to do with this read option. He said, I'm taking this one. I'm going to run this one for a first down. And the defense was sitting on fastball. They got fastball. That needed to be a changeup. Give it to AM, let him get the first down. So we got bailed out here. Because it should have been a field goal attempt. Instead, the officials, and I thought this was a makeup call for a bad call that they had earlier in the game. I didn't think this was necessarily a personal foul penalty here. He didn't spear with the helmet. He didn't hit Robert in his head or his neck area. Robert slid, and he came in. Look, we got away with one. Take it for what it's worth. So, after the penalty, Robert on the very next play hits D-Jax on a beautiful slant. Touchdown. Money. I love it. And I complained about 2 weeks ago about the lack of slants. We don't throw very many slants. I mean, that's a staple of just about every team in the National Football League's playbook. Yeah, it's a play that we seldomly run. It's a slant. I mean, who doesn't love an old-fashioned slant? Couple of steps, little stem, little route at the top of the stem, a little move at the stem of the route, at the top of the route, and inside, boom, hit me right here. Give it to me. Let me go. Fast, much faster than slow. We don't do it a lot, but it was good to see the slant right there available. D-Jax wins inside. Robert hits him with a gorgeous pass on the chest. It's a touchdown. We're up 17-14 at this point. Defense with a huge stop on third down is Vitamin D with a cleanup of a Perry Riley Jr. tackle. The punt happens to be a bad kick by their punter, and so the Redskins start in Vikings territory. Wow, okay. Great field position. We're not used to that because we don't force turnovers. So usually the offense has to go on a 70-yard track, 85-yard track for a touchdown. Well, hell, we're already in Vikings territory, so we already got prime field position to get more points. AM getting lathered up with runs of 6 and 8 after Robert to Niles Paul for a 14-yard catch and run. Halou on third down run for 3. And then Everson Griffin smokes Trent Williams, and it looks. Now, I was told that, and I went back and watched this play after I heard this, and I see what happened there. Robert was too deep on his drop. It just seemed like Everson Griffin smoked Trent Williams and got to Robert. But what happened was Robert dropped back way too far. And he got about 12 yards of depth on this play where it was really probably supposed to be more like 7. And so when you give a guy the edge like that with that kind of speed, they're going to get around the corner. I mean, Trent is thinking, oh yeah, this guy's running himself out of the play. I'm going to just let him go around me. No, he's running directly a beeline straight to the quarterback because Robert is too deep in his drop. So it happens. You know, it happens sometimes. And so that was a situation where he got to him, forces a field goal. It's now 20-14. Skins on top. So we are able to extend the lead. But when you get the football in the other team's territory to start the drive, I want 7, man. I ain't thinking about a field goal. I'm thinking about 7s, you know. So that was a little disappointing, but hey, I'll take the points. You know, 3 is better than nothing. But 7 trumps all. So you know the mantra, you know the motto. Field goals don't win games, touchdowns do. So it would have been nice to get a touchdown. I'll settle for the field goal. And so the Vikings are on the move as the third quarter winds down. Tedo using his arm as well as his legs to pick up first downs. It's now 20-14 as we head to the final frame. Teddy Bridgewater runs for 2 yards on 3rd and 1. And that leads to a Matt Asiata touchdown run, his second of the game. It's now 21-20, Minnesota up on top in this game. So now I'm thinking to myself, if we score a touchdown the next time we do, we need to go for a deuce. Go up by 7 so that a touchdown doesn't beat you. It only ties the game. So that I immediately went to that thought because I knew we were going to score again because we had been moving the football. So Robert to D-Jacks for 56 yards now. I jumped out of my seat and I thought he was gone. I was like, go, go, go. And I thought he was going to get that angle and win because normally guys don't tackle him from behind. But he was able to shoestring D-Jacks, get him down on the turf. I said, I don't know if we're going to get in the end zone now. You know, we're still one of these teams that we don't necessarily score just because we get in the red zone touchdowns. We're still a team that'll kick a field goal on you quick, fast, and in a hurry. So a little nervous about this. So then Robert with a check down to AM sets up 3rd and 4, which Robert extends the play and finds Roy Lou. This was a gorgeous play. Another one of these extension plays where Robert gets outside of the pocket, going against the grain, is able to reconfigure his body, contort it, throw the football as pressure is bearing down on him. Roy Halou has a defender on his back. Robert zips it in there, and he's able to get both feet in, get the football, and complete the catch as he's going out of bounds. Beautiful play by both involved. Huge pickup because, again, without that catch, without the extension of the play by Robert, another field goal coming our way. Instead, that first down gives us a fresh set of downs, which leads to this. Completion to D-Jacks for 8 yards. Then Linval Joseph flagged for a personal foul. He literally clotheslined Robert on the play. So that gives us a fresh set of downs and some more yardage. It sets up an AM touchdown. We got to go for 2. Don't really know what happened on this particular play. I'm hearing people say that the Vikings defended this play beautifully. They took away the options. Well, then Robert needs to get the hell out of Dodge. Don't just stand there and allow the pocket to engulf you. You don't like what you see. If it's supposed to be a quick hitter, get out of the pocket, extend the play. That's when things happen. Things happen when plays break down and the quarterback gets out of the pocket and allows guys to uncover. Okay, so fine, the guys aren't open initially. Get out of there. Don't stand there. Okay, somebody get open. Help me, help me, help me. Take a sack. Get out of there, man. Make something happen. That's what the good ones do. He stood there. No 2-point conversion. I knew that was going to come back to haunt us. When we didn't pick that up, I said, oh, crap. That one stings. Because you're up 5, and that's awkward. 5 is awkward. Because now, if the Vikings score a touchdown, you know what they're thinking. Let's go for 2. We can't. It won't hurt us. I mean, hell, we kick the extra point. We're up 3, and we kick the extra point. We're up 2. A field goal beats us. We go for 2. We get it. A field goal only ties us. So what the hell? Let's go for it. You know. Don't have nothing to lose if they score a touchdown. But I'm thinking, all right, defense, don't let them score again. This game should be over right now. What the hell is the Minnesota Vikings doing with 21 points anyway? They're not supposed to be scoring 21. This offense isn't good enough for that. So I'm already frustrated. Get a stop! Damn! So, Vikings put together a beautiful touchdown march. I mean, they go right down the field, systematically take apart the defense, soft zone coverage, everybody's wide open, nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, I haven't seen guys this wide open since 7-on-7 in the summertime when I went to training camp. I mean, guys were that wide open. You would have thought there was no defense on the field. Unbelievable. So, they march it right down the field. Matt Asiata does what he's done all game long, gets in the end zone, his third touchdown, and then he turns around, walks in the end zone on a 2-point conversion. They're up 3 now. So now, my whole idea of grandeur that I had, which was, hey, we can still win this game with a field goal, out the window. Now, a field goal only ties the game. So now I don't want to go to overtime with these guys. I want to win the game. I don't want to go to overtime. We just went to overtime last week. The guys are exhausted. They can smell the bye week. Let's just win this game and get the hell out of here. We almost crashed on the way to the game. I just want to get out of Minnesota, get back to D.C., get back to Maryland, and let these guys go on their merry way with a W. So can we do that, please? Can we go get this touchdown, win the game, and get the hell out of Minnesota with a W? Sounds good to me. Let's do it. So Vikings up 29-26. Redskins get the football back with about 3 minutes left in the game. We get an illegal contact and a Roy Halou run. Both provide us with first down. So we do get it, and they always talk about the first down is the most pivotal first down. Well, we got 2 first downs. So we got a little drive going. This is the backbreaker on this drive, however. Removing the football, and then D-Jax is flagged for pass. It was pass interference. I heard some people say it was questionable. It wasn't anything questionable about it. He pushed off. He extended the arms to gain separation, and it was pass interference. I can't disagree with the call. It was what it was. So now it's 1st and 20. And then after a minimal gain on first down, Robert is sacked. He takes a shot on 2nd down. And he gets up, and he's grimacing, and he's wincing. I think the wind might have been knocked out of him. He was feeling it from that shot. So now you end up in a 3rd and 20 situation. And this was one of the plays that people were very hypercritical of Robert Griffin III from in this game. Could he have gained more yards? He takes off on the scramble. Maybe, yeah. I thought there were at least 3 to 4 more yards there for him to sell out and get. You know, a la Colt McCoy on Monday night in the end zone. I know the end zone is totally different than, you know, the middle of the field. You need 20 yards and you're about 6 yards short. I know it's totally different than that, but this is the thing. You know, everybody's got their comments. Oh, he should have did this. He should have did that. You can say what you want to say, but when you're Robert Griffin III and everybody's telling you to slide, everybody's telling you to get down, everybody's telling you to protect yourself, do you know how much you mean to this team? You can't put your body on the line like that. You can't risk this. Yeah, look, I get it. Games on the line, you got to sell out for your team. I get it. But there's a balance between him trying to do the right thing and him just going out and playing football. And I've said this from day one. I've never backed off of this statement. Let the man play football. This is what happens. Plays like this happen when you keep beating a man down and beating this into his head. Get down, slide. Don't take the hits. Don't make those mistakes. Don't put yourself at risk. That's what you get. On 3rd and 20, you get a slide for 14 yards instead of a dive and possibly, you know, a first down or 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or 4th and 3. You get a slide. And now it's 4th and 6. So I feel like everyone that's been singing that song about him sliding and getting down and protecting himself, you're partly to blame for that. Don't get mad when the guy goes out and does what you asked him to do. I know the game's on the line. Hard to differentiate between the two, though. Hard to go out and tell him. It's a double standard if you tell him, hey, protect yourself. Oh, the game's on the line now. Don't protect yourself. Go do what you got to do. No, I want you to sell out on every goddamn play. And that includes when the game's on the line. I don't want you taking stupid hits, but if it's 3rd and 7 in the 2nd quarter and you can dive for a first down, you damn right. Dive for the first down. Nothing changes because it's the fourth quarter now. I don't want you sliding. I saw Phillip Rivers do this same thing, and I was pissed off, and Phillip Rivers isn't even my quarterback. I care less. But it's 3rd and 3. He runs, and he slides. And you know, in the NFL, when you slide, you don't get credit for where you end up at. It's where you start to slide from. He started sliding at, after gaining 2 yards, he came up 1 yard short. They had to punt the football. All he had to do was sell out and dive. He would have easily picked up the first down with Phillip Rivers. But he was too nervous. He was too scared to sell out. Then don't be mad when Robert Griffin III doesn't sell out because you're telling him, protect yourself. Don't sell out. Don't take reckless hits. He starts playing back the Haloti Ngata play in his head. He starts playing back the Sean Witherspoon hit that gave him a concussion. He starts playing back all of those shots that he took. He starts playing back that pinball shot that he took. What was it? The Houston game, week 1, where he takes like 3 hits in one, trying to get all the yards he can get. He starts playing back all those plays in his mind. Then he hears all the naysayers and detractors saying, slide, get down, you mean too much to the team, you can't take those risks. So he slides. Don't get mad when he does it. So I wasn't mad. I wasn't as mad at the play as I was just the fact that it's 4th down now. We put ourselves in a position where it's all on the line. And we're talking our season now. This isn't just beating the Minnesota Vikings. This isn't just extending this drive. This is for the game. This is for our season. 4th and 6. And a couple of things happened on this play. You got Pierre Garçon open for a first down. Yes, that does happen. You got Robert Griffin III. Okay, Vikings are in man-to-man coverage. If you don't know what that means is that every single person in coverage has their back turned to Robert Griffin III in coverage. They're running with their receiver. They're running with the guy, and they have no idea what Robert's doing. So if he takes off running, he's going to get this first down. And man, was there a lot of green grass in front of him. So my question is, should Robert have run, or should he have just made a better throw? It's an apples to oranges type of question, because either way, if he does it better, it's a first down. If he makes a better throw, it's a first down. If he runs it, it's a first down. Personally, I don't want you even throwing the pass. I don't want you putting the game in the hands of somebody else when you don't have to. Sure, you need to trust your receiver, but I would much rather you just take off with your legs, pick up 15 yards, step out of bounds. That was there. He might have even picked up 25 or 30. I mean, it was that much space. And again, we're talking man-to-man coverage. He decided to throw the football, didn't set his feet, much like that interception he threw. Didn't set his feet, didn't get his body facing the target that he was throwing at. He was going this way, trying to throw the ball like this. Gave us a nice Donovan McNabb ground ball. Scoop it up, turn a double play. Game's over. Just like that. Season's over. Just like that. And that was a tough pill to swallow there. I sat in my chair for probably 10 minutes, just kind of mulling over the fact that we just blew a golden opportunity to get to 4 and 5 on the season, go into the bye week with momentum, and we had Tampa Bay on the horizon. That one stung, man. That one stuck in my craw for a while. And then I realized we're not a good team. What did you expect? 3 and 6 is right about where we should be. We're not a good team. We don't execute down the stretch. It happened with Kirk Cousins all season long. We put ourselves in a position. It happened in that Philadelphia Eagles game. Happened in the Arizona game. Happened in this game. We've had opportunities to win, and we haven't executed down the stretch. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. That one stung. I thought that was a game. The defense, I know. I sat down for a while after I got over the 4th and 6, non-conversion. I looked up and I said, man, defense really screwed us on this one. Defense, man, time and time again, Minnesota had opportunities to hit open receivers. Teddy Bridgewater, we didn't put pressure on him. I felt like, and I know it's in vogue to play zone coverage against rookies and make them read defenses. But hell, I would have loved to have just came after Teddy and seen what he had. I've seen teams have success getting pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. I've seen 3 interception games. I saw the Bills pick him off 3 times. I saw the Lions pick him off 3 times. I saw teams apply pressure to him, and I saw him respond with turnovers. And I thought we elected to go the other route, and guys were wide open. And that was so disappointing. It was. And this was a bitter pill to swallow. It really was. And so there goes the competitive portion of our season. At least we made it to November, because for a while it didn't even look like we were going to make it out of October. So at least we made it to November. That Dallas game afforded us another week of feeling like we were still involved in the National Football League. We're dead now. So now what it's about is finding out which of these guys are going to be able to help us turn this thing around next year. Is Robert Griffin III the quarterback of the, I mean, to me, it's not even up for debate. I think he's the quarterback of the future. You know how I feel about him. We've invested in him. I think this kid is ultra talented, and he's going to get better. I thought he played a really good football game. I thought he made some mistakes. Again, I always say this. I always use this as a disclaimer, and I always throw this out here when I say it. He's going to get better with time. Everything that he needs to work on. The only thing that I don't think he'll ever get better at is true pocket presence. I don't know if he has a true feel for when guys are around him, when he needs to escape out of the pocket. I don't know if that'll ever come. Maybe that'll come with time. I'm hoping it will, but I know the game speeding up and him going through his progressions faster, that will come with time. And I actually was pleasantly surprised that there were a couple of plays where he went through his progressions pretty quickly and got rid of the football. So I was pleased with him in this game. I thought he did more than enough. 26 points. And the Vikings are a good defense. Don't fool yourself. The Vikings are not the little sisters of the poor defensively. They play good defense. They held Drew Brees and company to 20 points. They held the Detroit Lions to 17 points. This is a team that routinely holds teams down and don't give up a lot of points. They haven't given up over 20 points many times this season. And so to see us go out and get 26 and not have that be enough, that's disappointing, man. 26 should have been more than enough to win this game. To give up 29 points to a team that was coming in last 3 games averaging 12 points, that's not good. That's not good at all. And so this was disappointing, man. But either way, I am a Redskins fan, Ashton Burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. My Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to my beloved Redskins. Tough pill to swallow. I understand now that the season's done. All hope is lost. And maybe that's a good thing, because I got my hopes up a little bit. My expectations for the team started to kind of arise a bit, and maybe I needed to kind of scale it back a little bit. And so I now know officially, officially, that the season's done now. At 3-6, don't start thinking 2012 again. Robert's been alluding to that. This isn't the same NFC landscape. The division is much better. The conference is much better. Going to be pretty hard to win 10 games and still get in with the way things are being set up. I mean, the NFC West is crazy. You got, and again, we already lost to Seattle. So we're not winning a tiebreaker there. We still got to play the 49ers. For all of you who think they're dead in the water, they're not dead yet. And we got to play them. Probably not going to beat them either. And so NFC West is going to get 2 teams probably, if not 1. Definitely for sure, they're going to get 2. They could get 3 when it's all said and done. I don't think they're going to get 3, because I think our division has 2 teams in it. Their division is probably going to have 2 teams in it. The North might have 2 teams in it. So again, that's why even if we won the rest of our games and went to 10-6, still don't think it would be enough, because you got the Packers, the Lions, who could all win over 10 games. You've got Arizona and Seattle, who are probably going to win more than 10 games. And then you got the Saints, who get an automatic bid. And then you got to keep in mind that you got the Cowboys and the Eagles in our division. So, and they're going to probably win over 10 games, if not 10 games. So it's done. It's finished. Just in case you thought there was a little red hope, it's done. It's finished. So we're on our bye week now. We'll come off the bye. We'll see what happens after that. But yeah, this one stung. On a scale of 1 to 10, On the pain-o-meter, this was a 9.5. This one was deflated. So that's what to do it for me. Enjoy the bye week. I'll see you soon. The Redskins Report.